For more on the crime crisis gripping many American cities, we are joined by Deputy Director at the Center for Legal and Judicial Studies at the Heritage Foundation, Cully Stimson. Cully, and you told me before the break I could call you Cully. Nice to have you with us today. So it really does seem like the U.S. is having a crime crisis. In 2021 alone, over a dozen major U.S. cities set new homicide records. Shootings and thefts are also up in places like New York, L.A., San Francisco. You say you see a pattern in these cities with the way their leaders are approaching crime fighting. Talk about that.
Yeah, each of those cities that you mentioned have elected rogue or so-called progressive prosecutors funded or inspired by George Soros and others like him, and they refuse to enforce the law. They tell you crimes you can commit in their cities, and so what happens is the bodies pile up, the dead bodies, rapes go up, burglaries go up, and crime explodes in those cities. It doesn't happen in every city, but in cities where there are rogue prosecutors, that's where it happens.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that there is a toxic quartet of things going on. You say there's defund the police, demoralize the police, and then you talk about these rogue prosecutors. Let's put some of the more infamous ones up on the screen. You see George Gascon from Los Angeles, Alvin Bragg in New York, Chesa Boudin in San Francisco, and Larry Krasner in Philadelphia. You say they're a big part of the problem, and in fact, two of them, George Gascon and Chesa Boudin, are facing recalls right now.
Right. And they're facing recalls because people are fed up with the death and destruction on their seats. In fact, the long-term Los Angeles Police Department head, who backed George Gascon when he was first elected, now has rescinded his support for George Gascon. Tech billionaires now, liberals, are coming out against Chesa Boudin and helping fund his recall. And so the Achilles heel of this movement is the crime rates. And now the people, especially the people most impacted in the cities, are saying enough is enough, and they want them out.
Yeah, you even hear the mayor of San Francisco talking about how, it's not working there, that the victims have become the criminals and vice versa. So people are really starting to speak out about this. Cully Stimson, thank you so much for your time on this Saturday. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.